Hey, good afternoon and not morning. I apologize for being late. I like to try to do this thing every Thursday at 11 a.m. Unfortunately, had some technical problems, but I'm on now. I'm going to bring on the Instagram folks, and they should be up and running. So, welcome to my weekly Redfin Live update. This is our chance to dive into the latest Redfin housing market data. So, what's happening? Well, pending sales right here. Pending sales. Is it back there? There it is. Or this thing says sale pending, which isn't happening. There are no pending sales. So pending sales are down now 7.8% year over year. They continue to fall. We'll see that and talk about that more in a minute. New listings are only up 4%. That's not going to cut it for active inventory because active is only up now about 17%. So active inventory continues to fall because new listings are so bad. People are just not wanting to list their homes for sale right now because they don't want to pay, higher prices. And this is all despite the fact that mortgage rates are lower. Today I looked and Mortgage News Daily had mortgage rates at 6.11%. So, mortgage rates are almost under 6%. They almost have a 5 handle on them. So the question is, and I want to know from you today, will demand come back to the housing market if we see rates drop below 6%? I don't know. I mean, I know there are FHA folks getting loans right now in the 5s. The question is, when will demand come back? Are people just waiting for lower prices? That's what we're going to talk about today. So the way this will work is we're going to do a national update. I'll review the Redfin article. Then we're going to look at specific metros across the U.S. We've got Ohio. We'll start with Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus, Ohio. I live just outside of Columbus, so that's why we'll cover Ohio. Then we're going to do Phoenix, Orlando, Myrtle Beach, Portland, Oregon, Denver, and San Diego. If you have a metro you want me to analyze, put it below, and let's get started. And again, thank you for joining me today. All right, so latest Redfin article. Basically, they continue the same narrative, I suppose you could call it, with the fact that falling mortgage rates have not brought back demand. And they're pointing to, higher prices, but they're also pointing to the NAR lawsuit is confusing buyers. I have some thoughts on that. And then they also are pointing to the election is one of the reasons why demand isn't back. They're also saying buyers are waiting for lower rates. Rates to even come down further. So I won't read the whole article. I'm just going to highlight a few things here and then we'll get into the data. So I thought this was interesting. Housing payments would be falling. Well, let me go back. Housing payments are falling because mortgage rates are falling. Weekly average mortgage rates and daily rates have both dropped to their lowest level in over a year in anticipation of the Fed cutting interest rates. Housing payments would be falling further if not for stubbornly high home prices. The median U.S. home sale price is $388,000. That's up 3.7% year over year and that's just a few $1,000s shy of July's all-time high. So home prices, they're right about that. That has not crashed. Home prices have not crashed yet. They're down slightly, and they're down in a few markets, but overall, they have not crashed. Many markets that are up year over year. But declining housing payments have not translated into an uptick in sales. Pending home sales are down 7.8%. That's the biggest decline in nearly a year. I can clearly tell you, as a realtor, as an investor, the few things are going on. People are not selling, but pending sales, buyers are just choosy. They're taking their time, which is probably a good thing, right? They're taking their time And I think there's a lot of buyers that are just sitting out right now waiting. Again, maybe a variety of reasons. I'm hearing election stuff. I'm hearing NAR rules. And I'm hearing, they're waiting for lower rates and they just want lower prices. So I'm hearing all that stuff. And right now I can tell you demand is not what it was a couple years ago at all. Definitely not even close to what it was even before the pandemic. I didn't highlight this part, but this part was interesting here. So check this out. One of my buyers, this is an agent talking from Redfin. One of my buyers is under contract on a home, but he's trying to hold off on closing until the end of the month in hopes that rates will come down and he can get more bang for his buck. I just recorded a video with a mortgage expert here locally in Ohio, and I'll have that video up in a few days. But we talked about floating a rate. In other words, going into contract on a home and then not locking your rate and letting it float through the contract to lock it in at the last minute rate-wise to try to get the best rate possible. So people are doing that. So this agent on the article says, I'm also seeing people postponing until after the election. Buyers tend to be more careful about major financial decisions around the election. The people who are buying are doing so because of major life changes like a divorce or a new job. Yeah, I was at an open house last weekend. That's where my Sundays are now, spent at open houses, which is fine. You got to work to try to get the house sold. And I talked to buyers that said, basically several buyers said, well, I'm just kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting to see if prices or if rates improve. And couple other buyers were like, hey, I'm relocating. One was from California. I had one from Arizona recently, had somebody from Cleveland moving to the Columbus area. So those folks needed to buy. They were more serious, but the people that were kind of on the sideline are just kind of waiting, right, for the right time. All right, I also highlighted this. Mortgage rates have priced in an aggressive cutting cycle into 2025 are unlikely to move much until we hear from the Fed. So a lot of people are saying that mortgage rates are where they are. All that, the cuts are baked into the rates already. But they keep coming down, like mortgage rates keep falling. So I don't know. It seems like maybe they're not baked into the rate already. But in any case, you may not know this, but rates are almost under 6% now. All right. Let's get to the leading indicators here. We'll skip the mortgage stuff. We already beat that to death. Redfin Homebuyer Demand Index. Check this out. Up 5% from a month earlier. That's near highest level since May. So according to Redfin, their Homebuyer Demand Index is up. It's still down 7% compared to last year. But I guess demand is higher than it was last month. It doesn't show in the pending sales. Touring activity up 4% from the start of the year. I mean, the start of the year was like winter, January, right? So I hope it's up. I hope it's up since the beginning of the year. I don't know if that's really a great thing. Google searches for homes are up 2% from a month earlier, but down 16% from last year. People are looking for homes less online. All right, now they look at the top 400 metros and gather the top line data and put it here in the U.S. highlights. Median sale price, $388,085. That's about $6,000 below the all-time high set back 4 weeks ending July 7th. That's up 3.7% year over year. We're still not down median sale price year over year yet. Still not down. We're still up over last year. Median asking price. Now look at this. Median asking price is only $397,000. So that's definitely starting to, you'll see that. I think it's definitely starting to taper off. How much people are asking for houses versus, paying. Mortgage payment, we know that it's obviously lower than it was last year, but it's still a lot compared to a few years ago. Pending sales, this is where the big one is, folks. This is what you should watch for, one of the leading indicators you should watch for in your local housing market. If you're trying to figure out where home prices are headed in your market, watch a few things. One of them is pending sales. 76,000 units, that's down 7.8%, biggest decline since October of 2023. So, if you think about that, now you go to the new listings, the next one. 87,000 new listings hitting the market over the last 4 weeks. So there's 87,000 homes hitting the market, 76,000 homes are pending. And so you think about that spread, that's a difference of, 11,000 units, right? So 11,000 units remain on the market theoretically, right? But that's only up 4.6%. So we need a lot more new listings to make a dent in this inventory to actually grow the inventory. You need a lot more new listings. Active listings, $996,000. That's up 16.7%. Smallest increase since April. Active listings are not skyrocketing now. They're starting to fall. Months of supply, 3.8. That's up 0.8 points. That's 4 to 5 months of supply is considered balanced, yada, yada, yada. The point here is that even though months of supply is rising, you have to look at what inventory is rising. Is it affordable homes that the average person can purchase? No. It's, generally speaking, it's homes, at least in Ohio or where I am in central Ohio. A lot of the inventory coming to market are homes that, maybe over the median price and homes that need a lot of work. That's what we're seeing. And if it's multifamily, as someone who buys multifamily properties, I can tell you the stuff on the market right now, like if you see something on the MLS that's a duplex, it doesn't come close to cash flowing, generally speaking. Like not even close. And they still sell. Like people are still buying duplexes. Investors, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're buying duplexes and they're complete alligators, meaning they lose money every month. So the inventory isn't great inventory. So the months of supply can be misleading. Share of homes off the market in 2 weeks, 34%. That's down from 38%. So homes are obviously sitting on the market longer. Median days on market, 36, up 5 days year over year. Homes are definitely sitting longer, the ones that are on the market. Share of homes sold above list price, 27.9. That's down from 33%. So, people aren't paying over asking or over list price as much as they were back, back a few years ago, certainly. Share of homes at the price dropped 6.6%. So people are definitely cutting prices still. And average sale to list price ratio, 99%. This is a half a percentage point lower than last year. So generally speaking on this, people are, people are not paying over asking. That's good, right? We don't want people paying over asking. I think that's kind of not healthy for the market. So you want some normalcy. All right. Now we do some metro level highlights briefly. We've got the winners and losers in each metro, depending on the metric. First thing, median sale price, where prices are increasing the most or have increased the most year over year in the last 4 weeks. Milwaukee, Providence, Rhode Island, Nassau County, New York, New Brunswick, New Jersey, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Metros with the biggest year over year decreases. Austin, Fort Worth, Dallas, Tampa, Jacksonville. Those seem to be the same every single month or every single week we do this, nearly the same. A lot of Texas and some Florida's in there where prices are declining. They declined in 8 metros. So prices declined. The median sale price actually declined in 8 of the top 50 metros. That's what this is looking at. So you've got 42 of the top, the major metros actually had price increases. The median actually increased year over year. Doesn't mean it increased month over month or week over week. It increased year over year. There's a big difference there, obviously. Pending sales, San Jose, Boston, Cleveland, Indy, and San Antonio is where pending sales increased the most. So more activity, more people actually going into contract. Where they decreased the most, West Palm Beach, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Cincinnati. Look at that. Holy Toledo. I didn't see that earlier. Cincinnati, man, down 14%. We'll look at that more in a minute when we analyze Cincinnati and pending sales. Geez, that's a big dip. I wonder how that's trending. Atlanta down 14%. So Pending sales increased in 13 of the top 50 metros. New listings. You need more new listings. You got to have more new listings. Las Vegas, San Diego, Phoenix, Anaheim, Houston all had more new listings than last year. Atlanta, Austin, Nassau County, New York, and San Francisco and Chicago all had declines in new listings. It'll be interesting what happens to Austin's pricing and stuff because I keep seeing them decline with new listings. So I know they're declining with prices. They've had a rough time, but I wonder if that'll change as, inventory gets tight again. I don't know. We'll find out. All right. Now we'll look at their charts briefly for national. Again, this is all national stuff, not metro level at this point with these charts. So median sale price up 3.5 or 3.7% year over year. Will it end down underneath 2023? Comment below. I want to know. Tell us. Do you think we'll end up lower in 2024 than we were last year? We may. It's possible. But it's going to have to fall pretty, it's going to have to fall a lot, right? Right over 350 grand. I think probably 360 or something it would have to fall to. Right now, there's just no churn in inventory. So that's, we're struggling with that. Median asking price. So look at this. This is, it's been trending down. It went up last week now to 5.4%, but it was trending down. I think that's a product of people just not listing homes for sale. I just don't think sellers are listing their homes. So I think you're going to see this all over the place for a while. Home buyer housing payments down 1.3%. Still really expensive compared to 2021. Look at this. Look at that spread. I mean, it's like $1,000 difference, right? I mean, 2021, you're paying $1,000 less for a home a month. Pending sales down 8% year over year. This is just way down. So pending sales, not working. People are not putting houses in contract. New listings of homes up 5% year over year. It's up, there's like a little bit of an upward momentum, maybe a little bit, but it's kind of down overall since May, April. Not good. Got to have a lot more new listings in order to make some headway on active listings. So this is active listings now. Look at active. Again, now it's going down, right? You got to have a lot more inventory to cause any type of housing price crash. 3.8 months of supply available on the market. So that's, months of supply is going up, but if it's not great inventory, it's not going to make a difference. 34% of pending sales under contract within 2 weeks. So people are taking longer to put houses in contract, right? You can see it's like a 4-year low right now, which is probably a good thing. Homes sold in a median of 36 days, taking longer to sell a home, and 28% of homes sold above final list price. That's a 4-year low as well. We had people on average, right? It was like 50% of homes, 53% of homes were selling above final list price. That's crazy. 6.6% of homes had price drops. That continues to go up. It's, people, it's really the only card you have, the only lever you can pull, I say, right? Like, it doesn't matter who the realtor is. At least this is my opinion anyway. You can't market yourself out of a bad price, right? You could a while back, but now it's like, no, if the house is not priced right, it's not going to move. And so you have to cut the price. It's the only lever you have. Average homes sold for 99% of final list price. This is a 4-year low too. So, way back when, 2022, that's the peak. You had people paying on average 102, 103% of final list price. Now you've got people paying 99%. So overall, they're getting 1% off of the list price, the final list price, not the original list, the final list. So They're getting a 1% discount. Redfin Homebuyer Demand Index down 7% year over year. Yeah, it's starting to go up a little bit. They said that in the article, but demand stinks right now. It just does. People are not buying like they were several years ago, even before the pandemic. Okay, now we're going to do the metro level highlights, and I'm going to hit some metros here. I'm going to look at some comments real quick before we get into that. I can't keep the comments up while I'm going through it because I can't concentrate on it. What's up, Raymond? Ohio Raymond. Sentiment has completely died. Nobody is buying unless they have to, or the house is perfect. Buyer demands are unreasonable. I just rented my property and said, still had them bitching about the price. So obviously you didn't sell it, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I did a video with Raymond. You should check it out on my channel about his kind of journey through what he has done with a kind of a house hack flip type thing in Ohio. And I was surprised. His house, according to what he's saying, his house did not sell, and now he ended up renting it. I'm glad you got it rented. Maybe that'll work out better for you, man. Maybe it will. But I understand, yeah, it has changed. Sentiment has completely changed. You're absolutely correct. It surprised me how fast it changed. Oh, yes, if you have to mortgage a rental right now, there's no way it pencils. No profit. Absolutely, yeah. Even if you don't, by the way, even if you don't have to put a mortgage on a property, like paying cash on some of these multifamily deals I look at doesn't even pencil out. Like you'd lose money if you paid cash. Forget the mortgage. Like the net operating income doesn't even cover it. So it's like, it's crazy. Some of these comments are funny. Let me pull this one up. Coors Light, what's up? Raymond, if your house is older, has it been upgraded over the past few years or is it move-in ready? No, Raymond's house was completely move-in ready. It was like dialed in. Yeah, he did everything. I think he gutted it down to the studs. And he still couldn't get it sold. So, yeah, and that's in Ohio, and it was an affordable house. So, the market's it's funky right now. Anyway, yeah, thanks, guys, for the comments. Appreciate it. All right, let's jump into the metro level data here. All right, we're going to look at Columbus to start with. That's where I am, so call me a homer. But that's what we're doing. All right, new listings in Columbus, Ohio. We're actually up a whopping 7% year over year in Columbus, but that's because of the dip we had last year. But I can tell you that the new listings are, obviously they're still suppressed and they're kind of trending down still from where they were in the, in the summertime. So, that happens every year with seasonality, but when you start off really poorly with new listings, it's disheartening to see no inventory. Active listings for Columbus. We'll do that next. We're up 15% with active listings, but it's not skyrocketing, not spectacular. It's just not a lot of inventory. It's the way it is. Pending sales is awful, right? Down half a percentage point in pending sales in Columbus. So transactions are bad if you're a realtor here locally. I know I can see a lot of realtors on Facebook and Instagram locally getting pretty frustrated, which I understand. Hopefully you have another stream of income. Oh, that's pending sale. Sorry. Let's do median sale price. Median sale price in Columbus. Look at this. Down $342,000, up still 4% year over year. We peaked at about 355, 350. I think it was 355. This year actually was a record high in Columbus. I mean, unaffordable, needs to come down. It's come down a little bit. Hopefully that continues to give some relief to the buyers out here, especially the folks that just want a first-time house or an affordable house to live in. They're not looking for anything fancy. Hopefully that continues. Now, let's do Cleveland. Cleveland, Ohio. Let's do new listings in Cleveland. New listings in Cleveland are up 10% year over year. That's good. It's kind of starting to trend up a little bit. That's helpful for inventory. That's nice. Active listings in Cleveland. Starting to go down. Up 1 point. Look at the difference between Columbus and Cleveland. Columbus were up like 14, 15% active listings year over year. Cleveland, they're only up 1.53% year over year in active listings. So it's starting to trend down. It usually does this time of year, but new listings are going up. So it'll be interesting if active increases. I wonder if pending sales are increasing. They're not. Pending sales are starting to head down, but they're up 5.3% year over year. Maybe inventory will start building in Cleveland. It could. What is median sale price? Now look at median sale price, up 6% year over year, $238,000. A lot of people are pouring into Cleveland, investors, because they're like, I can still get a deal there. I don't know. I'm busy enough where I am. I can't explore outside of Columbus. And I don't know Cleveland enough to invest in it, but maybe there's some opportunities out there. All right, let's do Cincinnati. Go back to new listings. And if you have a metro you want me to analyze, put it in the comments below. Come on, Jay. New listings in Cincinnati up 6% year over year, but headed down. It always does this time of year, but I'm sure they need more inventory than that. Active listings leveling off, but look at active listings in Cincinnati, up 63% year over year. That's not a typo, up 63%. That's a lot more active listings than last year. Where were they last year? Look at that, 3,600 listings last year, now 5,900 listings. Wow. Okay. Let's do pending sales. Cincinnati. Wow. All right. So again, this is just by me looking at these charts. I see pending sales down 14% year over year. They did have a big spike last year, but it's headed down. Pending sales are headed down. Active listings are ridiculous from a spread, right? Down, up 63% year over year. So that could be an area. Like if I see that, maybe there are homes that could be deals on the market, right? There could be, because they have a lot of listings compared to last year and pending sales are down. So it doesn't seem like they're moving. Wow. All right. Median sale price down it's $298,000 now, still up 8% year over year. But where was the peak? Was that the peak? 306. Yeah, hit it twice, I guess. 306,000 was the peak in Cincinnati, and now it's down to 298. So, I don't know. I'd love to know from somebody in Cincinnati if there are actually opportunities there, and prices are becoming more reasonable. Let's look at one more thing from Cincinnati. Let's look at price drops. What does that show? Well, this is a strange chart, isn't it? Active listings with price drops 6.4%. That's kind of like near the average for the country. I think the country is like at 6.5, right? I was just curious if there's a lot of price drops, but it doesn't seem like there are. Abnormally number of price drops out there in Cincinnati. Okay. Now, let's do the next metro. I've got Phoenix. Phoenix, Arizona. Let's do new listings in Phoenix. What are they doing? Wow, look at that. New listings in Phoenix up 16% in Phoenix, Arizona. Wow. Okay, so definitely adding new listings. Are they keeping new listings? Let's find out in the actives. up 33% year over year in active listings. Look at that. Look at the number of active listings they have now. 19,000. Last year, how many did they have? 14,000. Wow, they've added 5,000 active listings. All right. Pending sales. But look at pending sales. Down up 1.4% in Phoenix for pending sales. But homes seem like they're probably sitting because pending sales is not increasing at all. And median sale price. Well, it's not at an all-time high by any means. It's up only 2% year over year, $454,000. So a lot of these metros where you can see the prices aren't crashing. They're not at the peak, but they're not like straight down either, at least not yet. So $454,000 in Phoenix, median sale price. Orlando is next. Orlando, Florida. New listings for Orlando. Look at that. New listings only up 4.9% year over year. Now, how about active listings? Active. Starting to level off. It's going down. Up 44% still, though, compared to last year. Now, I heard somebody I follow, and you may probably want to check them out on YouTube. I don't do much on Twitter, but Melody Wright came out and said that the inventory is going to explode this winter in Florida. That's what she says. So I'll be watching that. So far, I'm not seeing it, but maybe it'll turn around. But right now, Orlando inventory is not exploding anymore. It looks like people just decided not to put their houses on the market over the last few months. Pending sales. Yeah, look at pending sales now, down 5.8%. So the people are not selling, right? They're not going into contract as much as they were last year, obviously. Median sale price in Orlando, only up 1% year over year. Again, not a crash. Is it a correction? I don't know. But I guess you can call it a correction, but $403,000 is the median sale price in Orlando. I'm surprised Phoenix is that much more expensive than Orlando, but it is. Okay, that's Orlando. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. My sister lives in Myrtle Beach. I like Myrtle Beach. I like it. I like the area. Up 13% in new listings in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So they are definitely adding some inventory. It started to go up. Looks like mid-August it started to rise. It's been rising the last few weeks. What about active listings? How are they? Starting to go down? Huh. I would think that would go up, but it's not. 27% compared to last year. Definitely a spread, but again, like these other areas, active listings are not building. They're not, skyrocketing upwards. That's what I wanted to say. Median sale price in Myrtle Beach, I'm curious here, $338,000. Wow, Myrtle Beach is expensive. Down 2% year over year. So there's a drop there. Is that a crash? No, but maybe it's a correction. It is down 2% and it's kind of held steady all year. Where did they start? $331,000. Now they're $338,000. So a little up from the beginning of the year, but that's kind of normal, right? You start the year in the winter, prices are lower, then they go through the spring, prices get higher. But this is kind of relatively flat all year. Maybe that'll keep going down if pending sales don't improve. I would think it may continue to drag on the price, on the median sale price. All right, I got Portland, Oregon. That's next. People are saying Portland's crashing. I've heard that from other people, but I don't know. So I'm going to check it out. Portland, Oregon. New listings. Well, they are down. It's like a 4-year low right now in Portland, Oregon. New listings down 5.5%. Jeez. Man, that's a big difference there. Okay, active listings starting to head down, now only up 10% compared to last year. Wow. I would expect a lot more active listings and new listings in Portland. Let's do pending sales. Down slightly, 1.5% down year over year in Portland. Well, now what's happening with the price? Okay. Wow. I expected Portland to be like dismal, but it's up 3% still year over year. So it's not crashing by any means. Huh. Okay. That's surprising. I keep hearing Portland's like doomed, but it doesn't seem like it is here, at least according to the data. All right. Denver, Colorado is next. Got Denver kind of going all around here, all around the country. New listings in Denver, only up 1.7%. Active listings in Denver starting to go down as it does with seasonality, but it's still up 34% compared to last year. 11,000 active listings. Last year, they had 8,000 active listings, so definitely more listings for home buyers. What about pending sales? How are they doing? Man, all these cities are the same with pending sales, just struggling big time. Down 1.8% year over year pending sales. It's like a 4-year low this time of year. And what about median sale price? Median sale price is flat year over year. $586,000. Wow, Denver's expensive. $586,000 year over year, 0% gain. Not crashing, not going upwards. They started at 556 and now they're at 586. So they've gained 20 grand this year, but seasonality will probably pull that down. I mean, again, same story, not crashing, but not, double-digit price increases either. Just kind of a stuck market, it looks like, because active listings aren't skyrocketing anymore. Huh. All right, San Diego. San Diego. All right, new listings in San Diego. Up 18% year over year. 18% in San Diego. All right. Pendings do active listings. Starting to slide down with seasonality probably, but up 48% compared to last year in active listings. So a lot more than last year in active listings. Well, let's see if that's translated into any more home sales. No. Home sales down. I mean, every market is almost the same. Every market looks like it's suffering with pending sales. 2.4% year over year pending sales. Geez. It's not negative, but it's not amazing either. Median sale price in San Diego, $904 grand. That's completely different than the other markets, right? Year over year, up 1%. So they're not, they're not up a ton. They started at 842 grand. Obviously, it looks like it peaked back this year at 947. I'm seeing that theme a lot where the peak of median sale price was actually this year in certain metros. It wasn't in 22. It was like this year. It seems like a lot of places set a record. 947 grand was the peak. But now they're at 904. So again, not a crash, but not double-digit increases with price gain, with median sale price gain. Okay. So let's go back to comments and see if anybody has anything. Any other places you want me to analyze? Let me look at. I got a couple comments here. Let me look at them here. Off topic, we have crazy stuff happening in Cali, but I just saw a police vid of a lady arrested for killing and eating a cat in Canton, Ohio. That's why it's good to fully screen prospective tenants. Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't see that story, but I'm not. I don't have any tenants doing that. At least I hope not. That would not be good. But thanks for that comment, Coors Light. That's interesting. No doubt. Hey, so one more thing I wanted to show you guys was actually a couple of things. This is regarding. I thought this was pretty interesting. This is about the notion that I'm trying to bring this up. This is about the notion that Redfin manipulates their data. And so I found this and thought it was pretty telling. And hopefully you can see this. Yeah, you can. All right, look at this. All data here is computed daily as either a rolling 1, 4, or 12-week window. The local data is grouped by metropolitan area and by country. All of this data is subject to revisions weekly and should be viewed with caution. And then they give you the contact information if you have any questions. So the point is, with that statement, the thing to pay attention to there is this, right? All of this data is subject to revisions weekly and should be viewed with caution. So the point of me highlighting that was that I keep hearing that Redfin data is corrupt and it's cooked. The data is cooked. It's all a scam. Just two things about that. One, if that's true, then you shouldn't use Redfin data. If you think that Redfin data is manipulated, don't use the data. And I'm going to call the person out, but I really enjoy what Melody Wright has to say about mortgages and the housing market. But for the life of me, I can't wrap my brain around the fact that she will basically tell people, hey, the Redfin data is not correct. It's corrupt. It's a scam. They're trying to manipulate us. But then she uses the Redfin data in her analysis. So I don't get that. I wouldn't use it if I thought it was corrupt. That's crazy. So that I don't understand. Maybe she can explain why. I've tried to ask on the lives and stuff. I never get an answer. So I'm like, I don't get that. If you're going to tell us it's corrupt, don't use the data. I'm not telling you the data is corrupt, by the way. That's why I use it. I don't think it's corrupt. That's my opinion. And it's my opinion because Redfin gathers this data from 400 MLSs across the country. And when they do that, when they gather all that data from 400 different spots, when the month closes or when the week closes, there's corrections that are going to be made. I know I have seen information in my local MLS that's not correct. I've entered information incorrectly before on accident, had to go back and correct it. Then the MLS corrects it. Then that data changes. So the fact that they're changing data and correcting it, I don't know that that's a bad thing. I'd rather them correct it so it's right than not correct it and leave it wrong. And by the way, there's a lot of the data they're correcting, they're taking it up and down. So I've seen the sale price not only be corrected downward, but I've also seen it being corrected upwards. And the same with days on market and new listings and active listings. I think it's just a matter of, hey, they put the original information out yesterday for the last 4 weeks. They do the best they can do to give you the right information. But then if there's a change, they come back and go, hey, we had to change this data because we got a different piece of info from the MLS. They're just aggregating the data together from the MLSs. That's all they're doing. And so anyway, that's my take. That's my rant on Redfin data. I think, hey, we're using this and taking it with a grain of salt. That's what you should do. It's not gospel. It's not exactly right all the time. But it gives us somewhat of a gauge of the market. That's really what it should be used for. The best way to track your data is locally using real MLS and transaction data. To me, that's the way you have to do it. But anyway, that's my rant on Redfin. So that was my Redfin update. Thank you for joining me today. Sorry for the delay. Next week, hopefully I'll be on time at 11 a.m. Eastern on Thursday. And let me know in the comments if you want me to review another Metro next week. And thank you. Have a great day. See you on the next live.